I'm so sorry. My recorder keeps, I don't know why it keeps pooping out on me, but I'm going to try to get through this. So we were talking about Matisse and this theme of paradise that was in his work. We can also see that he expressed this idea of paradise in The Joy of Life, one of his earlier paintings. And so the goldfish should be understood as a kind of shorthand for paradise in Matisse's painting. The mere name goldfish defines these creatures as ideal inhabitants of an idyllic golden age, which is fair to say what Matisse was seeking when he traveled to North Africa, and what I think most people seek when they travel or go to somewhere like the beach or somewhere tropical. It is also likely that Matisse, who by 1912 was already familiar with the art of Islamic cultures, was interested in the meaning of gardens, water, and vegetation in Islamic art, as well as symbolizing the beauty of divine creation. These were all evocations of paradise. However, it's important to remember that goldfish was not painted in Morocco. Matisse painted it at home in a suburban area near Paris. He had moved to that area in September 1909 to escape the pressures of Parisian life. So what you see here are Matisse's own plants, his own garden furniture, and his own fish tank. The artist was drawn to the tank's tall, cylindrical shape, and this enabled him to create a succession of rounded contours, which I think you can see here that he's exploring, with the top and bottom of the tank and the surface of the water and the table. So you can see the sort of repetition of this round contour and this repetition of the circle. And this was, and then this is, the circle shape is visually appealing to most people, and the goldfish themselves were visually appealing. It's interesting to note that Matisse painted goldfish in his garden conservatory, which is sort of like a sunroom, where, like the goldfish, he was surrounded by glass. And so Matisse is really interested in this idea of inviting the viewer to indulge in the pleasure of watching the graceful movement and the bright colors of the fish. Matisse, once wrote that that he dreamt of an art balance of purity and serenity, devoid of troubling or depressing subject matter. We looked at that quote earlier. Something that was soothing and calming would be a soothing and calming influence on the mind. And so for him, this idea of art is very emotional, and art just isn't, it can be therapeutic, I think is sort of what he was saying. And so this is precisely what Matisse wanted goldfish to provide the viewer. The painting contains the tension created by Matisse's depiction of space. The fish are seen simultaneously from two different angles. From the front, the goldfish are portrayed in such a way that their details, their fins, and their eyes and mouth are immediately recognizable to the viewer. Seen above, however, the goldfish are merely suggestions of colorful brushstrokes. If we then look at the plants through the transparent glass surface, we notice that they are distorted as well compared to the real plants in the background. Matisse paints the plants and flowers in a decorative manner. The upper section of the picture above the fish tank resembles patterned wallpaper, composed of flattened shapes and colors. What is more, the tabletop is tilted upwards, flattening it and making it difficult for us to imagine how the goldfish and flower pots actually managed to remain on the table. Matisse constructed this original juxtaposition of viewpoints and spatial ambiguity by observing Paul Cézanne's still life paintings. And so we did talk about some of Cézanne's still life paintings when we were looking at the post-impressionist artists. Cézanne described art as a harmony parallel to nature, and it is clear here that although Matisse was attentive to nature, he did not want to imitate it, but use his image of it to resemble his own pictorial reality. Although this can be confusing by the viewer, Matisse masterfully uses color and pattern successfully, and it sort of holds everything together. The painting is an illustration of some of the major themes in Matisse's painting: his use of complementary colors, his quest for an idyllic paradise, his appeal for contemplative relaxation for the viewer, and his complex construction of pictorial space. All right, so I'm going to stop here, and our next artist is going to be a female artist, Kathy Kolowitz, who was a printmaker, so stay tuned.